Video walkthrough on the Keystone Bullet Ultralight. We'll start in the back. You are pre-wired for a backup camera. That doesn't come with one, you're just pre-wired for it. It does use power off those marker lights. So the running lights on your tow vehicle need to be on for your camera to work. Right here you got a spray port. There'll be a sprayer. I want to show you that as we get to it. So you can like rinse your feet off. If you got sandy, if you got pets that got a little muddy, you can spray them down too. Bumper caps come off. That's going to be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. These do not come with a sewer hose. That's going to be a separate purchase. But it's the best spot to store them. Speaking of sewer hoses, this is where you're going to dump your tanks. The black handle is your black tank. The gray handle is your gray tank. Your black tank's your toilet water. Your gray is pretty much everything else. Definitely recommend making sure these are closed before you take this cap off. And then I always do black tank first. Let it get completely empty, and then gray tank so that it'll flush the black tank water out of your hose. That way when you pick it up to carry it, to put it in your bumper, it's not dripping in black tank water. Here we have another outdoor shower here. This one's more like a shower than a spray port. This one will have hot and cold out here. So if you wanted to, you could take a shower outside. Furrion, not Furrion, it is Furrion, but it's just a short cord. This is 30 amp short cord. This whole thing twists to lock to stay on, and then you can tighten up this gray piece right here. Extra secure, make sure it won't pull out. It's 30 amp, and about 25-30 feet long these are. Well, here is going to be your water box. That's what I call them, at least. Up there you have your battery disconnect. So if you want to use stuff off your battery, it could be connected like that. When you're storing it, if you're storing it unplugged, disconnect your battery. But if you do have the ability to plug it in when you're storing it, connect your battery, make sure it's on like that, or else the charge won't receive the battery. And yes, it does charge when it's plugged in. And you have a satellite and cable input, so if you're going somewhere that provides cable, you can hook it up to there. If you have a portable satellite, you can hook it up to the satellite. Here's where you're going to fill your onboard fresh tank. Just rest your hose in there and monitor its filling progress on the monitoring panel. Don't wait till you hear water squirt out everywhere. This one is your city water. That's where you're going to hook your hose up to, and you can run everything off of city water pressure. And if that were the case, you won't need your pump. You do need your pump to pull water from your fresh tank. And then that black one is a black tank flush. So when you're dumping your black tank, you can hook a hose up to there, flush out your black tank, keep it from smelling, getting all smelly, wash any residue off your sensors. Here you have controls for your stabilizers. That's those right down there. They're stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. So don't try to use these to pick the weight of the trailer up. It's not going to be able to handle picking up the weight of the trailer. There is a self-resetting breaker that will trip if you overexert them. But if for any reason that breaker will fail, you can amp out the motor or bend one of the jacks. Alright, let me stand up a little bit more. This can get unscrewed. That's perfect. You can run your hose and if your cable up there for your cable and your hose, so you don't have to have this compartment door open all the time. Here's a lot of good information. You have unloaded vehicle weight. So right now as this trailer sits, it weighs 5,160 pounds. Gross vehicle weight, 6,500 pounds. That's the most this trailer will ever weigh, or as ever can weigh, because you do have a max cargo carrying capacity. You should never exceed 1,300 pounds. Then you have tire pressure right there. Definitely make sure you check your tire pressure often. By often, I mean before every trip. Every time you tow it, just check it. Keeps you safe, gives you peace of mind. Battery right here, I already explained your battery disconnect. In the winter, I definitely recommend taking your battery completely out, storing it somewhere a lot warmer than being sat outside. Garage, basement, shed, anything's warmer than being sat outside all winter long. A little quick interruption. Back to the propane tanks. Dual 20-pound cylinders, freshly filled, so you don't got to worry about that. automatic changeover regulator right here. You can tell it's pointing to this tank. You can see it's pointing that way. So it's going to pull from this tank first. If both tanks happen to be on and this one happened to get emptied, it's going to automatically switch to pulling from this tank. However, this selector doesn't move when it automatically switches over. So it will still be pointing at this tank when it switches to this one. So keep that in mind. That's one of the things it does. And then some people think having it split in the middle is going to pull from both equally. It doesn't work that way. It's one or the other. You got your chains and then your 7-way. 7-way gets hooked to the back of your truck, allows the trailer lights and brakes to work. Chains, you're going to cross them when you hook it up. This right here is your breakaway cable. There's another end to it. Can I find it? There it is. That'll get hooked to your truck too as well. That's attached to a little pin in a box right there. So if the trailer were to get unhooked, it's going to pull the pin out of the box, activate the brakes on the trailer. Other side of that storage compartment with that crank, you do have a light up in there. And then another light switch next to that, right here, which will do LED lights up there. Alright, moving along. Awning can't go all the way open because there's a wall there. It has more to go. When you see that bare metal tube and the flap hang down, you're all the way open. They are adjustable for pitch. It'd be easier to do it on this side. Grab here, pull down. So you can lower one end, lower to have water pitch off to the corner rather than all the way edge, or you can adjust them both to get the sun out of your eyes. If it starts raining and storming real hard, roll your awning back in. It won't do it automatically just because the wind can tear it up. And then if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, roll it back out to let it dry. Outdoor outlet, GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit, so if one will trip, they will all trip. You have a cable outlet and a satellite outlet, so if you wanted to have a TV out here, you could. There's even a, let's see if I can't move to it, a backer for a TV mount out here. Water heater, super simple to use. The only thing you'll have to do is put your drain plug in. 15/16 is the socket size for this. They do also make a special tool you could use if you don't want to use a socket and a ratcheting wrench, but I like using the ratcheting wrench. It goes in there, just tighten it up, snug it down, but don't over tighten it. It is plastic. Once you have the plug in, as soon as you hook up water, whether it be from your pump or from your city water, it'll automatically start filling. Once it's fully be able to kick it on, the controls for that on the inside. We'll show you that. Besides that, definitely recommend draining it after every trip. Before you pull your plug out to drain it, open your pressure relief, let all the water squirt out, let all the pressure get relieved, snap it closed, and then you can take your drain plug out. If you neglect to do this, all the pressure that you should have relieved through here is now coming out there, and you're going to get wet. And then, recommend cleaning in here and in here 4 times a year. Every changing of the season is how I can help remember myself to do it. Exhaust for your furnace, just keep it clean, clear any debris you see out of there, make sure it's nice and clean. Same thing with your fridge, clean it up here, make sure it has good airflow. I even recommend taking this panel off and cleaning back there as well. There's that sprayer that goes to that port on the back I was showing you. Side up cooktop with a propane line right there. That gets hooked to that quick disconnect right there, and then there's a valve you have to open. All I gotta do to light these is turn them on to light them with a barbecue lighter, a match, or whatnot. And then mini fridge out here only works when you're plugged in. It doesn't work the same way as the indoor fridge does. So it's good for like beers and stuff, extra drinks and whatnot. All right. We'll go on to the inside. We'll cover the thermostat first since I have to turn it off because I don't want to have to shout over the AC. So that's what it looks like when it's off. Hit it, it'll ask what fan mode you want. That's just the mode fan. You can hear it. It's just running the fan portion of the AC. That'll just kind of like circulate air. It won't actually. The air conditioner portion isn't on. In layman's terms. So that if you do that, hit fan, you got low, and high. You hit mode again. Now you're on cool. Then you have a couple different fan speeds. Fan on high, fan on low, auto fan high, auto fan low. I'd recommend leaving on auto, either high or low. That's going to allow it to cycle on and off at your set temperature. So if you have it set to 60, when it reaches 60 in here, your AC will shut off and then cycle back on to kind of regulate that temperature. If you're just had it running on, once it reaches 60, it's still going to continue to run. And the reason why sometimes isn't a good thing is the AC will continue to run. Eventually it'll freeze up and shut itself off. Then you have to wait for it to thaw before you can use it again. Then type mode again, it goes to furnace. Type it again, now it turns it off. And then these two buttons right here are your temperature controls, and like this I was telling you is your fan. Your controls to extend and retract your awning right here. And then the controls for your slide out, in and out. Controls for your water heater on gas and electric. You can run them both at the same time. If you are going to run electric either by itself or with gas, make sure you have water in the water heater or you're going to burn out the heating element. Then you have your controls for your water pump. So if you're going to pull water from your onboard fresh tank, you need to have your pump on. That's the only time you need to have your pump on. When you're using city, you don't. Then porch light, that will do these LEDs on the awning. And then ceiling light, there's the lights inside. The main lights, not like your bedroom lights. Then you can read battery. Battery's always going to read full when you're plugged in. Fresh, black, and gray. You do not have black 2, you do not have gray 2. So ignore those two ones. Just black 1 and gray 1. Very simple. We'll go to the bedroom. Your controls for your lights for the bedroom are actually on the ceiling, like that. And then, yeah. Either side of the bed you can see there's USB ports and outlets on either side. And then they put a little pass through here so you can run your cords up through there and then have them on the top shelf rather than down there. One of my favorite parts about these bullets, it's the little things that are nice, but this opens up. If you have like a laundry hamper, a small one you can throw in there, that's perfect. All you gotta do is open this up and throw laundry in there, which is nice. Or you can put a trash can in there and use that for trash. Doors, make sure they're locked like this when you travel. This is how you undo them actually on this side. But when you want to use them, just unclip them and they slide back and forth. Emergency exit is very simple to use. Lift up. If you want to use it as a normal window, you can. Just have it like that. If it was an emergency, you would then push this all the way out. Grab the screen here, pull it off, jump out the window. Odds are you probably will never have to use your emergency exit, but it's there. It's required by law, and I usually like to show people how to use them. It's just nice to know. Spot to mount a TV. Don't use the screws that come with your mount. Generally, they're too long. So find some shorter ones, and then you have an outlet, and then satellite and cable outlet right here, right there. Smoke alarm, 9-volt battery. So that's us giving you those low voltage chirps. Throw a new battery in it. Got your TV, which you want to make sure you strap when you're not using. We'll make sure this gets strapped for you, but you can pull this out and adjust it, but not. Radio below there, very simple. By the way, here's your remote for your TV up in here. When you get your radio remote, I'll put it in there with that one as well. Radio is very simple. This one is also a standard definition DVD player, so you turn your TV to the AV channel, turn it on. It's volume, previous channel, next channel, or fast forward and rewind, play, pause, stop. These are presets, push and hold to save a preset. You have zones. Zone 1 is inside, so you can turn the inside speakers off and on. Zone 2 is outside, so you can turn the outside speakers off and on. Auxiliary port, headphone jack, USB. USB is just for charging your phone. And you, like I said, you can put DVDs in there. That's going to be your eject button for your DVD player. Storage under there. You got your booklet right here. This should have your remote for your radio, so I'm going to set this down just so I could take a peek. I'll continue to talk. In this blue book that you guys just saw, it's gonna have manuals and whatnot. I definitely recommend when you get the chance to, when you get home and whatnot, just to gloss through it. Read your manuals. It might tell you something that I didn't. There's going to be a broad manual. It's going to be your Keystone owner's manual. That's going to cover most of Keystone's products, so it's not unit specific, but I still recommend reading through it when you get the chance. There it is. One second, folks. I just gotta put everything back away. Alright, blue bag. I'm leaving this out of the blue bag. This is that owner's manual I was talking about, so you can read through it if you want to when you get the chance. And then this is right here is the remote for your radio. It's also going to act as the remote for the DVD player portion of it as well. Microwave works like your standard microwave, only works when you're plugged in. Fan and a light, nice bright light. Folding glass cooktop like that. These are very easy to light. You turn them to the flame right there. Twist your sparker, they light right up. All three burners work the same way. Oven works a little bit differently. Turn that to the flame, push and hold as you're pushing and holding. You're going to come down here. You can see that pilot back there. What you're going to do is push and hold that in like I was showing you. And then click that sparker until that pilot is lit. Once the pilot is lit, you're going to turn it to your set temperature. If you want to turn it off, but you're going to cook again in a little bit, if you turn it to the flame, it shuts your burners off, but leaves the pilot on. Definitely recommend turning your pilot off if you're going to leave your trailer for any extended period of time or before you go to bed. Then you do have a light. Up is the knobs, the middle is off, down is the knobs and the oven light. Another neat feature about this kitchen is you have this pop-up light, not light, but outlet. It's GFCI protected with 2 USB ports, and then all you gotta do to close it is push this little red tab in, then got it closed, click that closed. Table right here turns into a bed, very simple. All you gotta do is lift the table up, pop them legs out, set the table on these little bumpers right here, you got 5 of them. Then you'll take these 2 little square cushions and that large rectangular one, lay them on your table. That's gonna create a platform to sleep on. Fridge is very simple. You have on or off, auto or gas. I definitely recommend just having it on auto. Auto is going to default to 110, so if you're plugged in, that's what it's going to use. But if the campground were to lose power or someone were to accidentally unplug you, it's going to switch automatically to running off of propane. Now, whether running on propane or electric, this will take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to get to operating temperature. So please keep that in mind, schedule your trip accordingly. Breaker box right here. All your breakers for your 120 volt appliances. All your fuses for your 12 volt appliances. Definitely recommend carrying some spare fuses with you. And then down there, your propane and carbon monoxide gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12 volt system. So there's no batteries you have to worry about changing on that. They will give you low voltage trips, however, if that battery I was showing you up front starts dying. So keep that in mind. Bunks, very nice. You have outlet and USB, both top and bottom, as well as a storage cubby over there. And then lights for each bunk. Bathroom's very simple, light switch here. Shower, easy. You turn them on here, it'll be in bath, and then you pull this up to put water to your shower head. Toilet's easy too. As long as you're pushing this pedal back here, it's going to continue to flush. Right here is that main GFCI. So if any of the GFCIs will trip, whether it be the outside one and the ones in the kitchen, this is the one you're going to hit reset on. Very easy. Alright. Well, that's pretty much it for our video walkthrough. Hope you folks enjoy using this trailer. And I hope you folks found the video informative. Until next time, goodbye.